Alright, so let's get started with the designing. I'm going to walk you through the process of designing, the way I do the designing. And this is a very simple process because I'm not going to design a complex design as such. Mainly what I want to share in this webinar is, so the main focus is on the live tattooing, but I want to start with designing so that I can show you how do I do Google search or the image search, and how do I find the right reference and then combine few images and come up with a design. So let me show you what I'm exactly talking about. So I'm gonna go to Google Chrome, and alright, so again let's go to Pinterest. That's our page. We want to do search. So initially I thought we'll do a Roman sculpture, so I was looking for Roman sculpture. Yeah. So I pick up the keywords and just put it there, and I start with the search. So you don't find, I mean, sometimes you get the image right in the first search, but I still give it a time to browse a lot of images, because it will give you, or it will find you an image which relates to your idea. So it's always better you spend some time with Pinterest when you're doing a search, because it is learning every time you click on an image. So this is the one I was thinking to do, especially this one, black and gray. But my brother said, this is not what he wants. I have design brief where he is good with anything like a vampire or anything demonic, which is dark, which is good for my my request, because I want something dark with a high contrast. So he wants something demonic, dark. He is good with a portrait of a woman. So after this, the first thing I would think of is, let's search few portrait photographs. So I'm going to search with portrait photography and see what comes. So we have few here. Now, if you remember from the webinar 2 and also the webinar 1, so in this webinar I'm doing it on a forearm so that it's easy for you to see and for me to adjust the cameras and stuff. And so if I'm doing on a forearm, I need to make sure that the face is 3/4 and not straight. That's my first preference, and that is what you have learned in past webinars. For the new people who missed it out, you can go back and watch the webinars. It is available now as replays in Learn It Like Aliens. So coming to the point, so I want something which is 3/4 and not straight face, not a side face, a profile picture, and I want it to be wrapped nicely, and also your forearm is elongated. So I would look for a face which is little elongated. So I don't want a face which is a round face. So let's do a search. I like this. So it's not exactly a profile, but I'll just take it. Now the best part of this Pinterest is even if the image is not matching in terms of, like in this case, this one, the orientation is not what I want, but I'm picking this up because that's the theme I'm looking for. That's kind of a contrast, and that's kind of the expression I'm looking for. So even if you don't find the exact one, still if something which is near to your requirement. So in this case, I don't want exactly this one, but I like the expression, the eyes and stuff. So I just clicked on it so that I can maybe find something close to what I'm looking for. So again, this is a front face. I'm not looking for a front face, but I like the lighting of it. So I'm just going to open and see if I can find anything which goes with our requirement. and then just keep surfing. This is a very side face, but I'm just going to click and open and see if I can find anything to it. So I'm going to close this one. So this is what I'm looking for, really soft shades and good contrast, good lighting, clean face, so that you'll get an idea by the time I finish the design. So this is the one I think is good. I think we have used this the last time in the webinar. I have used this image to help you understand the placement and sizing. You see more images related to what we are looking for. I like this one too, not this exact face, but I like the way the skin softness and the contrast which is coming up. Let's open and see what we can find there. Oh, nice. I like this, I like this, I like this. This is really good. So let me open this one. Now you see what is happening. Because there is something in my mind and I'm trying to look for something which is closer to that. So Pinterest will keep giving me different suggestions based on the images. So from where we started and where we ended, there's a difference, but it learns from you and it will actually give you something which is going to save a lot of time, and it's going to be as close as possible to your idea. And that's why I use Pinterest over Google. Google is little difficult to find the right references. I'm going to save this. I think I like this one more than any other image so far. If you see the orientation, it's going to look out and not inside, because I think that is not a correct way to do, where the face is looking inward, where the nose, eyes are here, and her hair is going to be out. That is not something which I would recommend. I would rather have a face here, like the nose and the eyes on the top, so that it looks nice when you're walking. It will create a curiosity that, because there are eyes and nose features, it's attractive. And the black or the hair part is going to be behind. So this is something which fits in my design brief, but I'm still going to play with this and see how it goes. Do a little masking here. As you can see, I'm not using a Wacom tablet for this. You can just do it on your computer. I think we can go a little larger. Yeah. This looks good to me. Not very happy as such. So let's try the other one. I'm keen on this image for some reason, so let's see how it goes. This one is looking good. Let's multiply it. Add a mask. This is not a Photoshop lecture or session, so I'm not focusing on teaching you the tools I'm using, but these are very basic tools. You can learn it from any of the videos available on YouTube. You know what, I'm loving this image. What if I just boost the contrast a bit? Just bring more brightness to her face. Yes. And bring back the eyes, because we lost the texture inside the eyes. This looks more like a vampire girl to me. If I add few tweaks to it, I can also turn it into a demonic piece. I think this is better than the first one, but we need something. I can't keep this all black. I need something like some element, and it is dark but it is soft, so I would look for a flower or something to add. Let's see how it goes. So Pinterest will keep showing me related images to my search, which is, again, it's the best part of using the Pinterest. I want something of this sort in black and gray. Let me see if I can find the exact one. This is nice. I think this is good. As I said, I have already done a research on this. So this is how I do the search. I'm going to show you the final, the one which I found, which I think is good, is, let me show you. Is this one. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to rotate it a bit so it flows with the anatomy of the arm and the design. I'm going to screen it so that only the brightest parts of the image stays up. I'm going to paint a little black. I've reduced the size a bit, so I'm just playing with the proportions and size. The best part of the way I work is, I prefer this, is I work on the Photoshop first before I go on real skin, and that helps me to understand where I'm exactly going to place what size and so on and so forth. So this is the design, I guess. That's the final design. I think I'm good to go with this. What I wanted again is really soft shades, high contrast, and soft in nature, and a piece which can be finished in less than 8 hours, so that we can solve the purpose of this webinar. Is this. Because the request is such that it has to be demonic or little vampirish. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to paint her eyes with black. And I'm going to add a small highlight. A little bigger. Okay, now she looks demonic. So it took less than 30 seconds to turn a beautiful woman into a vampire or into a demon. So I'm not very sure that I'm going to stick to these eyes, the demonic eyes, because it'll be too black around the eye area. So once it is healed, say talk about after 1 year or 2 years of this might look like a patch because there is no contrast in it and everything is very dark. But I will ask my brother to choose from this, whether this or this, and this or this, and I will try to convince him for going for the eyes rather than going for this. I'm going to play with my selling skills on this. Alright, so that's about the design. I want to show you something like 2 important things which really matter when you are using images from the internet.